That was like a breath of fresh air. That was funny.
There are sane people in the world.
Well, I just don't want to perpetuate the stereotype of the angry atheist.
Right.
And while I understand and we're laughing and we're having a good time, I do want to make sure that we are portraying that the rest of us, the rest of it. Mm-hmm. We see hypocrisy and all of that, and we're upset about it. But that's not a reason to write us off. We have good reasons.
Right.
And we're happy to talk about it.
And also, for all you angry atheists out there, anger is also an okay emotion as long as it's inspiring positive action and you're not using it as the basis of your arguments.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. Catharsis is wonderful.
Yeah.
Injuring somebody is not. Let's go to Fox in Massachusetts. Fox, you're talking to Eric and V. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I want to just say right off the bat, I love you guys. I love what you do. I love everything that you guys do. You guys are a positive beacon in a dark, dark world.
I love you too.
Thank you.
For doing what you do.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm here to set some stuff straight about nihilism.
Please.
Because my God, you missed the mark, dude. Oh my God.
Correct
the target
me.
was the opposite direction.
Cool. Correct me.
You got the basic idea of it correctly, but you got the 1901 version of it, which is basically the simple rejection of social, religious, and moral constructs. Mm-hmm. I am not a simple nihilist. I am a cosmic nihilist.
Okay.
There's many different kinds. There's existential nihilism, cosmic nihilism. Before I go any further in this, I do just want to say about the Wiccan caller. My partner is Wiccan, and Wiccans don't do spells, bro.
Dude, where do you begin? I mean, honestly, at that point, it's story time. And like, I was called out in the comments last week because somebody had flown by and I didn't like call them to the floor on a thing, but it was in between 10,000 other things. It was just like,
I tell my partner, and I feel bad for saying this, I'm like, the difference between you and me is we're both walking around a dark black room that's a circle and has no corners, and we're looking for a cat that isn't there. The difference between you and me is that you found it.
Okay.
And basically, I had to jump ship on religion completely when I discovered, and I want every theist to hear this. Jesus' name could not have possibly been Jesus. He would have spoken Hebrew or Aramaic. Both languages neither have the J sound in it.
Well,
his name would have been Yeshua ibn Yosef, or Joshua, something like that. It would, but I had to just throw the baby out with the bathwater at that point. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, Apollonius of Macedonia, Vishnu, Krishna, and it's the story of the star baby. It's the zodiac calendar, and it's been done since paganism, and that's why Christianity piggybacked on it. Anywho, back to nihilism.
But we meet people
cosmic
where
nihilism simply says that the universe does not give a shit about you, me, or anybody at all. It does not care. It is not anything.
I'm on board with you so far.
That does not mean that because I do believe in the complete rejection of religious, social, and moral constructs. And I think people get a little scared when they hear the moral constructs because too many of you have seen The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Now, but nihilism does not mean that because you think everything is meaningless, that intrinsically that means that it has no value or that it has no consequence.
I did not say that.
It simply means that I know you did not. I'm not saying you did.
Okay.
I'm saying that right now.
Okay.
The idea is that everything, even that of which is intangible to us, can be explained with math and science. It's just maybe math and science that we don't understand yet.
Sure.
And the idea that everything is meaningless. I started with nihilism because I do believe in Everett's theory of quantum mechanics, which is the quantum theory that states that a particle can exist in two places at once. Therefore, our atoms could technically exist in infinite amounts of universes.
No.
So I believe that things are meaningless because the decision that you've made somewhere in another universe, you already made the opposite decision. That doesn't mean that it's not important. It means that you have to prescribe the importance to it.
So
it's up to you. The universe isn't going to give you any meaning because there isn't anything there. I've died 4 times, and I've got to tell you, there ain't nothing waiting.
Fox?
Fox. Yes, sir.
The back half of that, I am on board. The front half of that, I am not on board. And since you're citing that as your reason...
I would never try to get you on board on that. I would never try to get anybody to be a nihilist, ever.
No, your understanding of quantum mechanics and the way that universes... No.
I think the nihilism part we're on board
with. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But your reasoning for being a nihilist, it worries me.
Well, the multiverse theory?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't ever say, yes, go ahead and believe in the multiverse theory, because let's face it, it's a bit science fiction-y. But it's
not just that it's a bit science fiction-y. It's that when you're discussing quantum states and you're talking about these things at this very, very, very small level.
Yes, almost a level that almost doesn't exist. Like things that happen so quickly and so minutely that they're barely there.
But Fox.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. There's a fallacy you're falling into here.
Okay, I need to hear this because I need to be corrected. I do.
Absolutely. The fallacy of division, right? Division and composition, I believe. Right. So the parts of it are all share the same characteristics of the whole. If I took a wheel off of a car, I'm not holding a car. Right. If I took the steering wheel out, I don't have a small car. Those are each the component pieces. It could be such that while
So you're saying, since the atoms that exist in us, that does not mean that we ourselves are also part of these particles that exist in multiple places.
Exactly.
All right. That's plausible, but I don't know if it's provable.
I don't know if, well, actually, the thing is it could be such that is not, it's not possible, right? But the time to accept it is when there's evidence for it. I would say the null position is not to take that stance, not to necessarily reject it, but just don't take it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let me get back to my track here.
Yeah.
The thing with is that I believe that the value that we give to things, it involves zooming in, but trying to put meanings onto things, you're inherently you're wasting time. Things have meaning because you give it there. It's not because it had a meaning before you got there, and it's not because it was giving a meaning because you're there. It's simply a thing that the universe is chaotic. It's a chaotic beast, and I love what Matt Dillahunty said. He quoted Stephen Hawking when he said, "If the universe was made for anything, it was to create black holes." And that's the basic thing, is that your universe, you need to take your universe for a ride, because it's going to try to buck you, and it will buck you. So when it does, why not say you took it for everything it was worth?
I agree. Where are you correcting me?
I'm not correcting you anywhere. I was just finishing my track.
Damn it! I thought you were calling to say, no, Eric, you were wrong about this. I need to teach you some philosophy. And I'm like, I am ready. Fox.
Nope, you just have the older version. I'm going to kind of on footnotes, I guess.
All right, fine. Take care. Next time, call in with more we can chew on, because I want to engage.
Why is the multiverse theory so ridiculous?
So whether or not something gets ridiculed definitely doesn't impact whether or not it's true. So I definitely don't want to fall into that habit. It's the same reason why I wasn't.
I'm sorry. That made it seem like I said that you were calling it that. That's not what I meant at all.
No. But it's a good point to bring up, because there are people in the live chat that were like, "Holy moly, you can lay this guy out as an absolute tool." The very first caller, and ridiculing that person does not make them wrong. It just makes me an asshole.
Yeah, but
right?
Who cares?
I do. I give that value statement, and so...
Me too. I'd rather not be an asshole, but every once in a while, people need the blunt force truth.
I agree.
I'm not saying that the multiverse theory is.
All approaches...
I think a statement.
Yeah, it takes all types. I'm going to be more of an asshole later this evening when I host on the Atheist Experience.
Assholes no assholes, and I love you.
I love you too, man. Take care, brother.
Take care, guys. I, again, love what you do. Thanks again.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to learn a thing.
I think the updated version was the quantum physics bit.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
I mean, and it's funny, I got into an argument with a Christian and an atheist about that, and both of them jumped into multiverse.
Yep.
And I said, you're, while I understand this is where you're at, my knowledge level may be too low. You know, what I understand about this may be too low, and I need to learn more. But possible does not mean probable.
Right.
And I can imagine it does not mean possible. And so just because you can imagine turning levers on a universe and creating different types of gravity and different, laws and states of a universe, right? That's great mental masturbation.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that that is possible or that there exists universes where you can turn the lever on it.
Looking at you, Anselm.
Yes! That was good. Yeah. And so I'd be happy to, explore it, and I definitely want to see evidence. But until such time that happens, I'm not going to automatically grant that something is possible.
Right.
It could be that it's not. In the same way. Oh, go ahead.
The only way that I see the multiverse theory as useful, and I'm not using theory in the scientific sense, is when you are talking to somebody who's like, no, this is the only way things could possibly be. Like caller number 2.
Yeah.
This is the only way. It's like, okay, well, let's brainstorm other possibilities and then use that as a way to deconstruct the idea that there's only one possibility. But apart from that, I feel like it doesn't lend too much to the conversation.
Yeah, no, the places where I see it may be that is just the only way, is like when we talk about things like using the physical world to prove the physical world. Using logic to prove logic. Well, that is circular. Okay, so how do you get to logic? How do you test and show logic without using logic to do that?
Right.
It may be that is just the case. That is just a function of the universe. In the same way that I talk about jumping off of my balcony, I really got to stop that. People are going to get concerned. But I can do it 10,000 times, and that does not necessarily mean that there is a chance that I will fly like Superman. It may just be the case that I live in a universe where gravity exists all of the time. And to date, that has been the case.
Someone start a website and count how many times Eric has jumped off his balcony.
You know what? I think it could go right up there with the count of... so what I am saying is... But let's dive in. Actually, you know what?